You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi. Hi, welcome back. It's Rhonda, the good influencer. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really feel good that we talked about the 7 deadly sins. When Professor Miller discussed those 7 deadly sins to all of us in class those years ago, well, decades ago, he imparted such a wonderful gift for all of us to receive. I just wanted to make sure that I shared that with you. Another teacher of mine is author Don Miguel Ruiz of the 4 Agreements. Do you remember in season 1 when I talked about how I used to watch Oprah all the time for my therapy? Well, this is where I discovered this little book, and also Ellen DeGeneres. I just kind of realized that her last name says generous. She said on her show that she lives by this book and it transformed her life. It really is truly a gift. You will never be the same again. You will be better than you can ever imagine if you practice and live by the 4 Agreements. So I'm going to share it on my show. Let's talk about cleaning up your side of the street with the 4 Agreements and waking up from the dream or the nightmare many of us have been living. Here we go. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi. I just want to say that again because it all starts with you. If you change for the better, that's one more person and another person and another and so on. This podcast may contain copyright material not authorized for use by the owner. However, the podcast creator, me, believes that use of this material falls under the fair use exemption. For more information, please refer to Section 107 of the Copyright Act. Okay, so with that said, I want to thank Don Miguel Ruiz for writing the book, The 4 Agreements. Oh, for so long, many of us are lost and we feel like we're living a dream. It's kind of true, right? Our values, our early childhood lessons and morals have shaped our view. And it shaped us on how we get along in society. But there comes a time when we start to see discrepancies. For example, when an adult starts to lie and they're not telling the truth. In fact, when they admit to you that I had to lie and you should forgive them. I remember harboring some anger about that. Why should I always tell the truth and then forgive you for lying? I have to always be on my best behavior and not you. Do you hear the resentment? By the time I turned 30, this book came into my life and cleared up everything for me. The 4 Agreements. I woke up from the dream. Don Miguel calls his book a practical guide to personal freedom. These are like codes of conduct built in with protections so you won't get involved in drama. You can speak your truth and love yourself. Listen to others without letting it affect you or prompt you to chime in. And you're always concerned about doing your best. The 4 Agreements are: 1. Be impeccable with your word. 2. Don't take anything personally. 3. Don't make assumptions. And 4. Always do your best. At first, when you hear them, you may think that I'm already engaging in that. That truth is really not your truth. For me, this is called cleaning up my side of the street. This means that I'm concerned about my representation of myself and not engaging in criticizing other people or taking their inventory or judging them, which is being across the street on somebody else's side, right? That's not my place and it's not my business. This is me working on myself to be my best self, a good influence by my actions. This book, I believe, is the best way not to commit any of the 7 deadly sins that we just talked about. I believe this 140-page book is a healing to the soul, the mind, the body, and the spirit. If you're living a life with substance, with a bounty of love for yourself and others, then you're in the right place. You're going to gain a lot of insight when we start talking about the 4 Agreements. I encourage you to read this book. Remember, I'm just doing this to be a good influence. I'm not making a dime off this. I'm just sharing my experience, strength, and hope. This book really had a true, profound effect on my life. I'm just offering it to you. I'm excited to start talking about the 4 agreements. I've had people ask me for money, clothing, and advice. This is it. This is the best that I can really give you. Let's start with agreement number 1. Be impeccable with your word. We'll talk about that next week.